Copywriting is a valuable skill. And with the new technology of artificial intelligence, there's a lot of concern that copywriting is going to lose its power. That if you're a freelance copywriter, that you're a marketer, that you're going to lose your earning power in the marketplace because these artificial intelligence tools can write copy as good as the masters. I'm Justin Hitt with Ad Briefing's Copywriting Tips, and I'm going to address that because the opportunity of copywriting has never been better. There was a time when the encyclopedia first came out. So, an entire body of knowledge, and professors worried that you could simply just buy an encyclopedia rather than going to college, rather than learning. You could just look up the answers. And it turns out that hundreds of years later, we still don't have very good answers. Now, one problem is the ability for people to ask questions and the readiness to get any answer. We can talk about that in another podcast if it's of interest to you, but understand today that you can ask an API or an AI platform or a writing tool to write you content, and it will write you content whether or not that content is useful to support your specific audience. Now, there's a lot of factors that go into that, but let's talk about the opportunity of copywriting. It's still important to learn how to write copy because it's a skill you can use for a lifetime. So that prompt you use with the artificial intelligence platform or the basis of the material that you have the platform summarize or extract bullet points or find you related topics needs to have the right context to motivate an audience to take action. Now, that's a skill for copywriting. Whether you're writing persuasive presentations you're going to do at work, whether you're writing sales copy to generate leads or sales copy to sell a product, the context of that will not be understood by an AI platform because it only responds to prompts. The AI platform only uses what you give it, and if you put garbage in, you'll get garbage out. Now, I'm going to go beyond the AI because, again, I just related that the AI is like a new technology. New technologies can be as simple as a search engine, can be as simple as encyclopedia set, could be as simple as having gurus in a town square. The technology itself is neutral. The skills you use to apply that technology is where value comes. So when you understand how to influence and understand people, you have to apply that into the context in which a target market wants to be influenced and wants to be understood. Think about it this way. There are services that you can sell that are not socially acceptable. So the services of a hitman are available. You can hire people for murder, but it's not socially acceptable because it is an unethical activity. Now, to an AI platform or to somebody who doesn't have an ethic, they will find harmful chemicals, they'll find addictive substances, they'll find damaging and harmful services, and they will try to sell them. However, the platforms that people fear will replace them make ethical judgments based on people. And as a person, you need to know not only the power of copywriting to persuade people, but have the skill set to make ethical judgments so that you can persuade them in a meaningful way. Now, that was a convoluted way of saying that there are laws, rules, and regulations out there, and your ability to understand copy is only one part of creating a valid product. So if you're going to help somebody develop a product, an AI model could suggest products that have no context in reality. They could be illegal products. They could be suggesting putting addictive substances inside of products. There may not be a governor that is relevant to your particular audience or your particular marketplace that is innate to a human experience. You know that if you harm your customers, you'll have fewer customers over time, and that is not profitable. And so, what happens here is while there are copywriters who sell unethical products, like for example, there are some business opportunity products that are completely useless. They sell an emotion, the people buy on the emotion, there's no follow up. Yet there are also business opportunity products that ethical copywriters produce, and they actually help people, and they use the hype and the sarcasm and the front end excitement in order to get people involved in meaningful career opportunities. Now, here's the difference. As a copywriter, you can quickly switch between those two perspectives from an AI model or from someone who doesn't have copywriting skills. They may try things or suggest things that just aren't practical. I've worked in the risk management environment, and some people have suggested ways to increase the profits of a business, but they do so at the detriment of a customer. So, what I'm arguing here is that the skills of copywriting, both understanding how to persuade, influence, and understand people, helps you develop products that are more human beneficial and that ultimately provide value to the customer. There are topics that I will not write about. I know how to persuade people. I know how to do the things in copywriting, but there are topics that I will not produce or products I will not promote because of my ethical standings. It doesn't mean a computer model won't promote those things. But the computer model doesn't have the context that you have. Now, maybe in 50 years it might, maybe in 10 years it might, maybe next year it may. But you can choose a target market that you enjoy serving, that you want to serve, that has a mission of value. So, for example, I've written a lot of copy for nonprofits, and I only will write for a nonprofit in which I believe in their mission. Now, have I written for money copy that I wasn't passionate about? Yes, a couple times I have, but when I understood the context of the organization and looked at the quality of the work that they're doing, I immediately closed that account. I basically said to them, "Hey, I can't get behind what you're doing. I've written a few brochures for you and stuff. You know, you paid me for it. It's yours to keep, but I don't have the emotional context to be involved with what you're doing." And this is important because, again, you're a living, breathing, emotional creature, and so are the customers. So, your ability to relate to the emotional challenges and experience of the customer could put you in the right market at the right time to be very fortunate as a copywriter or a marketer to make a lot of money, but ultimately to serve people the right way, to serve people that has value. Now, what's important about this gives you an opportunity to get into markets that have less competition. The ability to specialize and to build on past experiences lets you go into a market, dominate that market, and locks out your competition. Now, here's what's important: you want to compete with yourself, not AI platforms, not other copywriters, not other ways that somebody can sell the product. You want to be aware of these things, but ultimately, when it comes down to serving your customers, you want to build on past experiences, give them the emotional influence that they need to sell quality products, and ultimately you can do that forever. You won't have regulatory, well, you still could have regulatory issues, but you won't likely have regulatory issues if you're selling a quality product in an ethical way. You'll be more aware of the circumstances and you won't let the money lead your decisions. You'll ultimately sometimes even bumble into huge value opportunities where you are the only and the best provider in that industry, and that allows you to demand higher rates. And ultimately, as you connect with people in a meaningful way, you'll get more satisfaction out of the copy you write. In fact, writing copy will be fun. It'll be exciting. And that's one of the reasons that with ad briefings, we talk about the subject matter expert, the knowledge worker, the engineer, and how they can transform these skills into a side income, into an additional income, or even to be more effective in the career they have. So, for example, Bob Bly is a chemical engineer. He's got a lot of technical knowledge. He found ways to write white papers, to write advertising copy, to get involved in the world of copywriting while still advancing his desire for technical knowledge. And you'll see in a lot of his presentations, he talks about his passion for learning and his ability to understand and translate technical topics and then to persuade people to get involved with products and services. And so that opens up a market that someone who's just a copywriter won't do very good in because they don't have the specialty, the subject matter expertise. So you want to drive down deep inside your past experiences, your knowledge, and then start looking at those marketplaces. Now you have to be careful because if your past experience is jumping from BizOp to BizOp and really not getting any success, then you need to reevaluate that, build your own self perspective and understand what it is that you desire, and then use that story to help somebody get into an opportunity or into a solution that is more viable for their particular case. So in that case, you're going to know the pain and suffering of getting involved in the next opportunity and it not working out, and then you're going to have to correct that in yourself to understand what makes a good opportunity, and then go out and find clients that deliver good quality solutions. And that's another reason why I don't just sell the, you could make it, you could be rich as a copywriter, you can write copy from anywhere in the world, you'll have the freedom and satisfaction of having a position that's truly recession proof. I don't try to sell that as much as this is a means of fulfillment. You can really satisfy the desires and help people in the marketplace without having to start a company. See, you can help a company that already exists, that you believe in, that you know delivers good quality products, and you can write for them without the investment of building that company. And so you can get paid to help people without having to have the risk of owning the whole corporation. In the case of markets and niches, there are certain markets that I have a passion about. So for example, the environmental markets, not from the climate change perspective, but from the realistic, improving your local environment, understanding how nature works, getting involved in nature, going to eco resorts and to go do outdoor activities rather than going and locking yourself up in a hotel or at some kind of amusement park. To start, that's a passion area that I have. So when I write copy in that area, the passion conveys. So the big challenge in the copywriting world, especially with a lot of these tools that are coming online, is that the tools don't give the context and the emotional connection that you can as a human being. Now, I'm not saying don't use the tools. I have a number of articles, and of course, we're testing the tools. I'm relearning Python so that I can actually do data analysis, so that I can get better insights. But what I'm looking for is the insights and the understanding so that I can apply it with the skills of copywriting rather than trying to have the machine write the copy. What I have found about the tools that'll write copy for you, it's as good as a cub copywriter. And you know how good cub copywriters are. They're usually good enough to get a rough draft, but if you have them focus on research, you'll tend to be able to write a better draft, and then that gives you a better foundation. Remember, garbage in, garbage out. Now, what's also exciting about the opportunity of copywriting is that it's a type of skill that your writing has actual measurable impact. So you can write two lead generation pieces, you can split traffic between the two, and then you can use analytical measures to determine which piece generates more leads than the other. So, for example, a lot of copywriters don't know about this, and this is one of the things I'm passionate about teaching you, is that when you do an A/B split, there will be a point in time where you can measure the break even point. So if you know the value of a lead, you can know how much you spent on the ad, and then you can know how many leads you need to get in order to break even on the sales transactions. You can see for how much did you pay to do the campaign, which of the two ads produces the lower cost per lead, and then you can use some basic statistics. And I know a lot of copywriters don't want to do this, but this is the value add, that when you come to a customer and you say, yeah, I'm not only going to write you copy, but I'm going to show you how to have a profitable campaign. I'm going to show you how to generate leads that actually convert. And then you aren't just one of those article spinners. You aren't somebody sitting out there just pumping out words on a page. You're somebody who's a value add to the organization. See, all the AI tools and all the models that are available today, any genie or anything that can write copy for you cannot deliver the value, because all it produces is words on a page. The opportunity for a copywriter is to know about these measurable things, and this is what we call direct response marketing, or its use in database marketing, which is parallel to our e-commerce platforms today. And you can show up as an analyst rather than just a copywriter or just a marketer. And so you can actually hire those people who can put words on pages. You'll have the insight and emotional intelligence in order to know what words are going to generate sales with your specific target audience. And then you become the catalyst for an organization to really produce some change. There isn't an encyclopedia set of swipe files. There isn't a AI platform. There isn't a competitive copywriter that can do those things for you and your niche. Now, what's also powerful is that knowing how to write copy that sells helps improve your ability to think. See, we're not just thinking logically when we're working with the prospects or we're writing sales letters. We're also thinking about how does the structure convey key ideas and concepts, emotions, and other factors that motivate behavior. So we have what's a high value psychology as well as a high value means of measuring that produces the results from a sales letter. So you could have a well written sales letter sent to the wrong audience and it does nothing. You could have a poorly written sales letter sent to the right audience and it sells like gangbusters. And what that shows us is not only is there an unlimited supply of questions you could ask, and your ability to know the right questions to ask is important. Not only is there an unlimited supply of answers, your ability to know what answers are valid or actionable. That's where your power comes. There's also the complexity of putting it all together. And right now, there's not a machine on the planet that will do that for you. It doesn't matter if you're using these content management platforms. It doesn't matter if you're using these search engine optimization tools. It doesn't matter anything until you understand the motivations of that buyer and how to speak specifically to their needs, desires, and wants. You're not going to be able to convert them. You're not going to be able to move them to the next step. You're not going to be able to help them solve meaningful problems. Now, I'm going to give you the last thing here, and I think this is very interesting from the hundreds of copywriters I've talked with, many who are doing six figures a year net, putting money in the bank. They're making a great living. They have health insurance. They have an office. They have an assistant. They're not worried about getting that next check, so they stop selling time for money or words for money, and they're billing on projects and they're billing on campaigns and they're getting results for their clients. The power of copywriting and the skills that copywriting delivers actually reduces your anxiety and helps you understand better how the world works. There is a reason why the top copywriters are interested in conspiracies, they're interested in the different perspectives of conversations, and why they're so interesting to listen to. Now, I don't put myself in that category, but I'm certainly learning. I know how propaganda works. I know how mind manipulation and mass control works, and I can apply that in marketing campaigns to sell good products, legitimate products, and ultimately help clients solve problems. And that should make you feel really good about being in the profession of copywriting. Not just good in a warm, fuzzy way, but really you can make a difference. You can put your power behind political campaigns. You can put your power behind content. You can put your power behind opportunities for people to really improve themselves. And altogether, you become a persuader. You become somebody of influence. You become somebody who can make a massive difference. And that ultimately is the power of learning how to write copy. I encourage you to listen to more of the content that we have here and to get involved at the website at www.adbriefings.co.uk, where you can ask your questions, you can join our email newsletter, and really become a part of a community that's making a massive difference. Now, I especially like working with folks who have some kind of experience or subject matter expertise that they want to leverage in a niche market in order to help make a difference, in order to help people get good quality product, in order to help people get better results in their life. And I truly believe that you can make this happen in your own life because you have the copywriting skills, because you understand, because you listen. Now, you don't have to be a perfect copywriter because the understanding and context is most valuable. There isn't a book or a AI program or the next shiny object that's going to create that context. You already have it deep down inside of yourself. So I want to congratulate you for being a part of the podcast by listening to what we have here and encourage you to reach out with your questions so that we can hone that skill so that you can be a 6 and 7 figure copywriter. So that you can go from freelance copywriter to small agency. So you can start helping companies produce marketing that works and stop getting ripped off by these advertising agencies that tell them lies. And that you can ultimately be that go-to solution, even if it's just for a specific niche. You could be that go-to solution insulate yourself from recession, insulate yourself from competition, and get the results that you deserve. I'm Justin Hitt with Ad Briefing's Copywriting Tips. We're here to help you understand and transform the knowledge of words that sell into results for you and your clients. You can ask your questions at www.adbriefings.co.uk. You can actually go to adbriefings.com as well, but ultimately go to the contact page, ask your questions. I would love to hear your feedback. What do you think about what I shared here today? What do you think about what we've got? And what can I do to help you? I'm sincerely here to help you be the best possible copywriter in your industry. I'll see you on the next podcast. Thanks for being a part of what we do. And until next time, I'm Justin Hitt with Ad Briefing's Copywriting Tips.